April 27th, 2020 at 4:51 p.m. So I was thinking, of course I was thinking, right? That's why I do these discussions, these podcasts, because I'm usually in deep thought when something hits me and then I'm like, I got to talk about it. All right. So I'm like, yeah, I need to talk about this. I want to talk about competition in relationships. This just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like I was literally just going through different scenarios, thinking about past things, current things, future things, like, with regards to relationships and things like that. And I just want to say that sometimes in relationships, when you're in a relationship with someone, you can be degraded for being smart. Now, you may not know that that's what's happening at the time, but you need to be aware of red flags. You need to be aware of when your partner is in competition with you. You need to be aware of when your partner is really low-key hating on you for being smart instead of bigging you up. A lot of times when your partner is in competition with you, or if your partner is hating on you for you being you, basically, for you being intelligent, most of the times they'll big you up behind closed doors, right? So when it's just you two, they'll big you up. They'll say good job, that's what's up, or oh, I didn't know that, or most of the times they want to learn more, right? They want to know more. So you're like a sounding board. So they want to soak up your wisdom, which is nothing wrong with that, because if you're in a relationship with someone and that's your spouse and you guys love each other, you want to feed off of each other, right? You want to be able to give knowledge, right? I don't see anything wrong with that. But sometimes when you're in a relationship with someone who's secretly in competition with you, who deems you to be a threat because of your intellectual abilities, you need to realize what the red flags are. Some of the red flags could be like face frowns, like you may catch them looking at you a certain way, looking at you hateful, or looking at you, in a off way, and you may not understand why. Like if you're having a discussion about something and it happens to be intellectual and they frown their face up at you, like looking at you like, who do you think you are? Or, and then they kind of switch it up. Call that out, and call it out right away. A lot of times folks don't call it out. Either they don't notice the red flags or they just don't call it out. They just assume maybe their partner is just being how they are. Oh, they just got a smug face or a smirk face, or they just always, looking like that. That's just their look or whatever. But call it out and let them know why are you looking at me like that when I said this, or why did you respond to me like that when I said that? A lot of times, like I said, they will big you up when it's just y'all two behind closed doors. When you get in front of other people, like if you're in the public eye, and you're having conversations and you happen to say something intellectual, you hit on some points, some facts, whatever. And the fact that you're speaking your knowledge, it bothers them, right? Because they'll degrade you in front of people. That just hit me, yo. Like I was just thinking, I'm like, oh, shiznit. Like they will degrade you in front of people. It's, they'll definitely give you mean mugging looks. They'll definitely look at you like, shut the fuck up. Like they'll definitely try to belittle you, degrade you, make it like so that you will shut up, so that you won't say anything. It's like you can't have the voice you have. That's what it's like, almost like you can't have that voice, and you need to really need to recognize the red flags when stuff like that happens in your relationship, because That's not right. Your spouse should not belittle you, whether behind doors or in the public eye. Your spouse should not be in competition with you. When you are in a relationship with someone, you two are supposed to love each other equally. You're supposed to be on the same page equally. You're supposed to be able to bounce ideas off of each other and feed each other, build each other up, big each other up. There shouldn't be competition between you and your spouse. And I think it is going to be amazing to know what it feels like to be in a relationship with someone who doesn't dim your light. Mental bombs. That doesn't dim your light. It's something, it's like, it's so small, but it's not so small. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's so minute that it's so easy for someone to overlook it. It is so easy for you to overlook it because you just, you're not thinking like that. It's your spouse. You love your spouse. You're not thinking that they own it like that. You know what I'm saying? But they are. And you will sometimes have spouses that try to dim your light because they don't want you to shine too bright. It's like a jealousy or ego thing, or you know what I'm saying? It's something within them though that they have to work on for themselves. That's their dark side. That's their freaking shadow. You know what I'm saying? But to be in a relationship with someone, as a matter of fact, I think I remember an interview with Serena Williams, the famous tennis player. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a journalist asked her what was it that she loved the most about her current husband that she's with now. And if I'm not mistaken, she said, "I love him because he doesn't try to dim my light." And that's such a common thing that happens in relationships, but it's such an easy thing to overlook. So you just have to be really mindful. You have to really pay attention to those things, because over time, as the years go on, if you don't pay attention to those things slowly start wearing on your self-esteem, right? Your self-confidence, your self-worth, right? And it little by little breaks down your person. And that's a part of you that when you leave the person, that's a part of you that you have to rebuild again. You have to rebuild. You always have your self-worth, but you just have to realize it for yourself. You have to realize it again, because it's been broken down so much by a person emotionally manipulating you, or, just being in competition with you and trying to dim your light. Yo, that is some deep shit. Yo. Woo! I was like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm making candles, right? I'm making candles so I can send out some orders tomorrow. And while the wax is melting, I don't even know. My brain just goes, boy. It just goes. But I'm so glad that my brain went in this direction, because I'm able to talk about it. And anybody who's listening that understands what I'm saying, that may recognize those specific signs in their relationships, yo, that's the red flag. Watch yourself. And when it happens, when you notice you're being degraded in public, they're trying to degrade you in public and make you look stupid or try to shut you up if you're speaking and you're talking intellectual, and, even behind closed doors, if they're looking at you mean and nasty because you're speaking, you're speaking your wisdom, your truth, whatever it is that you may be speaking that's making you look, I guess, shine bright. You know what I mean? Watch those red flags, because your spouse could secretly be in competition with you and you not even know it. And that's not a relationship you want to be in. You do not want to be in a relationship with someone who secretly tries to dim your light. You don't. You want to be in a relationship with someone that's going to be your equal, someone who is going to love you for you, someone who is going to get off on your smarts. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I get off on someone's knowledge, like someone's brain. Like if you are smart and you're talking stuff that I don't know, and you're like feeding me, basically you're feeding me, like they call soul food, right? Food for the soul. You're feeding me that good soul food. And and I love to be stimulated. I love to be mentally stimulated, and I love learning new things. My motto is learn something new every day, Shonda. You got to learn something new every day. And it's fun to me. It's kind of like a game to me. That's how I make it anyway. But yes, I love to be intellectually stimulated. So that turns me on. That's a turn on for me. And I'm pretty sure it's a turn on for a lot of people. But if it's not a turn on for your spouse, and they're intimidated by it, and they have a problem with it, and then they try to bring you down, whether behind closed doors or in public or both, you don't need that in your life. You don't need that. Leave that alone. Have that conversation with them. Let them know what they're doing in case they're not aware that they're doing it. A lot of times they probably are aware that they're doing it. Sometimes maybe not, because it's like an inner issue, right? But make sure you make them aware of it so that they don't do it anymore. If it continues to happen, leave that alone. Get away from that. That's not good. That's toxic. That's not good for you. Be with somebody that is going to build you up, not shut you up. Be with somebody that's going to get turned on by your intellectual prowess. Be with somebody who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. Just, yo. I'm just excited because this is like an epiphany for me. You know what I'm saying? And it feels good to realize certain things, because it helps you to progress in life. So I hope you guys got something out of what I just said. I know I was really excited throughout the conversation, and you could probably hear it in my voice, but it's because I'm really excited about the epiphany of it all. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get something from this, I really, really hope you do. If you recognize this in your relationship, check out those red flags. Have a conversation with your partner about it. They keep doing it over and over and over and over again. That's some shit within them. Leave that shit alone. Be with somebody who is going to big you up and love all of you. All of you. You know what I'm saying? Love all of you. That's all I want to say. Thanks for listening, y'all. Peace and blessings.